March 23rd, 2:35 p.m. District Court, Courtroom number 3. Court will now reconvene. I assume both sides are ready? Hello and welcome back to another episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. We are continuing with, of course, the case, like all the other times too. So, yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. I can understand the defense acting like this. Or why do you also seem distraught, Edgeworth? It's nothing, Your Honor. What's wrong, Edgeworth? It looks like something unexpected just happened to him. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you could please tell me the result of the handwriting analysis on the Miss Impact suicide note? Yes, Your Honor. Unfortunately, we have discovered that this suicide note is forgery. What? What do you mean, Miss Edgeworth? This note was not written by Miss Impact herself. It is a fake. Order. Mr. Edgeworth, would you care to explain what is going on? If this was not written by Miss Impact, then who wrote it? We would need more time to do more detailed analysis. However, it appears that the handwritten matched that of the victim, Mr. Juan Corrida. Mr. Corrida. Well. It looks like Miss Impact never left a suicide note after all. She never wrote anything about Engard. However, Your Honor, even though the suicide note is indeed a fake, Miss Engard could not have known that and so that fact remained unchanged. Acting under the assumption that it was real, he had plotted to possess it. That does sound very plausible. This theory that Engard had no idea that the suicide note was fake. Something seems a little wrong with it. The picture, right? The defense believes that the theory the prosecution has stated contradicts testimony. If everything the prosecution has proven to this point is true, then it's impossible for Miss Engard to have known it was fake. Well, Miss Edgeworth, your response? I believe that even more important than finding out if this note is real or not, is whether the attorney badge pinned to that man's chest is real. That is the $1,000,000 question. Yes, I agree. Oh. I'm going to take a wild guess to say I messed up again. Actually, there is something I would like to ask. Miss Edgeworth, you had something earlier to the effect of the defense had spied on Mr. Corrida's private life. I would believe this would mean that he would have known about... Oh, yes, I am an idiot. I believe this would mean that he would have known about the note as well. That's it. Yes, and so naturally, that means Mr. Engard would have known that the note was fake. Order. See here, Mr. Wright. Yes, John. I was the one who thought of the spying thing. Jumping in and stealing my thunder like that is simply, I can't even describe. Yes, sorry. Could you even brag about embarrassing Miss Edgeworth to my grandchild? Had you not? For that, I assign you a penalty. Oh! Ooh! What? If only I had kept my mouth shut. So then the defendant knew the suicide note was a fake. And if that's true, then the situation suddenly changed in a very dramatic way. Exactly, Your Honor. The prosecution's theory as to what Miss Engel's motive for murder was, it has suddenly disappeared into thin air. But, Your Honor, it's not as if Miss Engel monitoring Miss Corda 24/7 a day. Perhaps the victim wrote the note in a place Miss Engel did not know of. Well, right back at you, Mr. Edgeworth. Why don't you show us some proof that the victim made the forgery at an unknown place? Order, Mr. Edgeworth. It looks like this time it is you who have dug his own grave. It is you who has dug his own grave. As I figured, huh? As you figured? As I figured, it came down to this after all. Miss Edward, you're not making any sense. When I heard the result of the handwriting analysis, I thought this might happen. The question is, what's next? What's next? If the prosecution can't prove Mr. Engel's motive through the evidence, then we must prove it from other angle. Well, I agree with you there. Yet, Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call a witness to the stand at this time. Oh, well, that's fine. However, this witness is a little unusual. Edgeworth stuttering. It's not like him at all. Unusual? Well, what sort of witness is this person, Mr. Edgeworth? This witness is one who is perfectly fit to answer once and for all the question of who was it that hired Shelley, the killer, to commit murder? That's impossible. No such person exists who can answer that question with such certainty. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth, who is this witness? It is. Yes, go on, who is it? The man himself. Mr. Shelley the Killer. Oh, Mr. the Killer. Wait, Shelley the Killer? You mean the killer? I mean the assassin? Yes, Your Honor. He's coming here to the witness stand? Well, yes, in a manner of speaking. I recognize that this is a very unusual circumstance, so I asked for your permission. Mr. Wright? Yes. Is this alright with you? Do I have a choice here? I can't really do much else to drag this trial out. The defense has no objection, Your Honor. I wonder if it really is alright to do this. Well, very well then. The prosecution calls the witness to the stand. Edgeworth, is there no other way left to us? Now then, witness, your name and your occupation, please. Very good, sir. My name is Shelley the Killer. I am a professional assassin. I say, what is going on here, Your Honor? How can you remain so calm and what is the meaning of this two-way radio? Actually, Your Honor, it was delivered to me just now, and it came with a condition. As long as we do not trace its source, Mr. the Killer will testify to this court. So this must be what that urgent phone call he got earlier was about. Oh no, this will not do. I cannot allow this in my court. First of all, we can't even be sure this is really Mr. the Killer himself. Witness, please present some sort of proof that you are in fact Shelley the Killer. I understand. Please wait a second. I'm so hungry. Maya? A voice? Mr. Wright, can you confirm anything from this? The defense has no objection to this person. We are satisfied that this man is indeed Shelley the Killer. It looks like we have run into yet another unexpected turn of events. Well, it doesn't seem like we have too many choices under these circumstances, so... Now then, witness. There is one thing I would like to confirm before we speak of anything else. And what would that be? At the request of a client, you killed Mr. Juan Corda, is that correct? It is as you say, I did indeed kill Mr. Koda. Now that we have answered that, let's move on to the name of your client. Very well. This is all just a bad dream. Yes, that's it. A bad dream. Shelly the killer. What is he going to say? There is something I must first state. To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between a client and himself. And that is the reason why I'm here today on the witness stand. It is my wish that you grasp the concept before I give the name of my client. Mr. the Killer seems to be a very clever man. It's almost say he seems to be mocking us. Well, he may appear to be our enemy, Your Honor. Mr. the Killer is only stating the truth. He is no hypocrite. He has always stood by this one belief. You mean about this trust between his client and himself thing? It seems to be a level of trust beyond what people like me can comprehend. Well, Mr. Wright, are you ready to cross-examine the witness? Yes, Your Honor. There's no way to know what's coming next, so stay cool and collected, Phoenix. About my client. There's something I must first state. We can hear anything you have to say later. Can you please just tell us your client? I don't think you understand your place, Mr. Attorney. I said this is something I must first state. Do you know what the word first means? Sorry. Go on. Well, it appears this one witness you can't badge you, Mr. Wright. That's only because you don't know about my situation. The trust between you and your client. I provide my services in a fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about me and my identity. If too many people knew my face, it would be quite troublesome. And that's why you're testifying in this manner. This is the first time one of my clients has ever been accused of murder. I must preserve the killer name so my client can trust me. But couldn't someone stab you in the back and break your trust? It has never appeared before, but if it ever did, yes, that person wouldn't be my client for very long. They would certainly. That's enough, please. No more. Very well. It was only a hypothetical and anyway. And that's the reason why I'm here today that seems a little strange to me. I mean, you're about to tell us the name of your client. I would think that this would be very bad for them. It doesn't matter to me. This client has already broken the rules and acted outside of the prescribed role. Their role? This person tried to implicate another of the crime. The person tried to implicate another of the crime in order to save themselves. And this is a trespass that cannot be forgiven. Who gave you the right to be so high and mighty? To the gentleman who spoke just now, excuse me, but would you care to die? Oh no, I didn't say anything. The judge had better watch himself. It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name of my client. We understand, so please tell us the name of your client. I'm afraid I cannot do that. I still have a few things to say before I do. The egomaniacal. It's not good for your health to be aggravated. You won't live very long if you let everything bother you. Somehow that's coming from an assassin, making it less than comforting. I don't really care about all that extra fluff, just tell us the name already. Patient, try to calm down and little. It's important to try to understand his mindset. He seems very steadfast and close to you, so you're going to have to work to get him talk. I'm not his therapist, you know. The trust between you and your client. I provide my service in a fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about me and my identity. These are the roles and duties an assassin and his clients are to carry out. I'm sorry, but I was wondering about something you said. You said that your client had broken the rules. A person who framed another is the worst kind of human. And that's why you feel you can betray this person? I have no trust relationship. I have no trust relations with a client who can't understand their assigned role. Just my luck. An assassin with a conscience. Who would have figured? Now then, everyone, do you think you can understand my logic? This case just keeps getting better and better. If you can't, then I'm afraid we can't proceed. Everyone understands your point, I think, really. In that case, I believe I'm prepared to disclose the information you seek. You have made it crystal clear that you value trust over all else. I believe we are ready. Excellent. And that is the reason why I'm here to witness stand. Now then, I do believe it's about time to reveal the name right now. Don't you agree? What is it? Now I can't bring myself to ask the client's name. If you can't ask it, Mr. Wright, then I will. Witness. What is the name of your client who requested the murder of Miss Drancola? That person's name is Adrian Andrews. Witness. That's not who you told me it was earlier. Pray tell, what are you talking about, Mr. Prosecutor? I should think I know my client, and it is Adrian Andrews. What? This can't be. On the phone earlier. What's going on here? I guess it's that Mr. the Killer just stabbed Miss Edgeworth in the back. Stabbed Edgeworth in the back. I'm sure in order to get audience with this court, Mr. the Killer told him a different name, Matt Engel, perhaps. I knew it. This is outrageous. I was deceived. This witness is telling a very serious lie. But you were the one who summoned this witness. You, Charlie the Killer. My testimony is the truth. The defendant at the moment is Matt Engel, am I correct? All I wish is to help the prosecution equate to. Wow. All of a sudden, I feel like we can actually win this. Yeah. The prosecution has failed to provide a motive and has instead provided the suicide note, which is a forgery created by the victim. Furthermore, there is a possibility the defendant himself knew it was fake. But most definitive of all, we have heard from the assassin himself the name of his client. Mr. the Killer's client who requested the murder was not the defendant at all. No. With all this evidence, it is obvious to me that this means that Matt Engard is innocent. It seems I have caused you all a bit of confusion. Please continue your discussion and call me when you have reached a verdict. Bailiff, please bring Mr. Edwin Andrews in immediately. With the way this is going, Engard will be found innocent. This may be our last chance to save Maya. Yeah, but Edgeworth is right. The killer is dying. And Engard, my client, I know he's guilty. I can't live with myself if I win this. Who would believe that the prosecution's own witness would absolve the defendant? Your Honor, the prosecution requests permission to further question the witness. Shall the killer is certainly lying under oath. It wasn't me. Listen, everyone, please, that testimony just now, it was all a big lie. Miss Andrews, the suicide note may have been fake, but that man Matt, he's the reason Celeste is dead. And Joan's death, it was all because he got pulled into Matt's twisted world. That testimony just now, you have to believe me, it was a horrible, horrible lie. But Mr. the Killer himself has testified. He has named you as his client. No, that's not true. Also, there is quite a bit of evidence that points to you. The knife, button, donning, the naked samurai costume, but that's you can't even you even have a motive. You know that Celeste's impact was a large part of your life. We know that Miss Celeste's impact was a large part of your life. You want to follow her, and you wanted revenge against the two who hurt her. I would say you have plenty of reason to want them both dead. I know. Is it right? You know the truth. Tell them. Tell them the real story. Who the real killer is. Tell them. Please. Help me. Yes, I know the truth. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? I believe we have reached the end of this trial. Therefore, I ask the defendant for a final word of our opinion. I had to decide. Do I take the not guilty verdict or save Maya? Or do I throw this chance away and wait for grounds for new evidence? What am I supposed to do? Phoenix? I can't do it, Maya. I can't accept the not guilty. You are a lawyer. I know. But Matt Engard is a killer, a murderer. I can't let him get away with this. I can't let someone else take the fall. If I let Miss Andrews be convicted, then I'm not better than Engard. And even though I don't want to admit it, I have to face the fact that it's because Edgeworth. That it is because of Edgeworth that I now know the real truth. He could have gotten Engard convicted so many times over, but he never took a single one of those chances. If I take this verdict right now, I'll be betraying his trust. His trust. I never thought about it until now. I trust him. Yes, you do. Mr. Wright, your opinion, please. The defense requests that we be allowed to further question Mr. the Killer. Am I hearing you correctly, Mr. Wright? Right. But that witness was clearly your client, though through his testimony your job here is done. I'm not done yet. To see through witness lies and find the truth, that is my job, Your Honor. There's still more evidence to look at, and I'm sure that once those pieces arrive here in this very courtroom, a miracle will occur. Very well, the trial will continue. Mr. Edgeworth, please re-establish connection with Mr. the Killer. Right away, Your Honor. Has a verdict been reached? Before that, we would like to talk with you a little more about. All you needed from me was the name of my client. What else could you need me for? Well, actually, we would like to hear everything you know about this case. That is how things are usually done. What is he talking about? Usually done? But what shall we have him testify about now? Mr. the Killer, if you don't mind, please testify about your client in more detail. Your legal people and your procedure. Is it any wonder no one likes to go to court? About my client, part 2. As I have already stated quite a few times, Adrian Anders is my client. However, one thing I simply cannot overlook is tampering with a scene of the crime. My client did it to frame another for the crime, while pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene. Alien Andrews already knew from this very beginning that Johan Kohler was dead. But even more appalling is the creation and planting of the knife and button. That act is what I was referring when I said my client had broken the rules. This is most unexpected turn of event for the 5th time now. However, this time everything has finally been revealed. Just a second, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth. We still have a cross-examination to do, but you don't need to question but you don't need to question testimony like this, do you, Mr. Wright? Your Honor, defense will question the witness, as if I have a choice here. Huh? Why? What the witness has said is nothing but beneficial to the defense case. If you scrutinize the testimony, then I expose the lies in that oh so beneficial testimony, I suppose. I don't understand what's going on anymore. That makes two of us. What is it, Mr. Wright? If I press him the wrong way, it might raise suspicion on his end, but I have to do something to waste more time. Witness, about requesting a hit. Yes? How much is your fee? I see you are also quite a dark-hearted man, Mr. Attorney, huh? If you would like to talk business, we can do this after the trial. No. I'm not thinking of Mr. Wright. Yes. You want to kill me? You want me dead, don't you? Why would you think something like that? You're guilty, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You're hereby you're hereby declared guilty. Oh. Witness, let's continue. Why did you disclose the name of your client? They are your client, are they not? I would think that most people would be able to overlook person hiring another. I would think that most people wouldn't be able to overlook a person hiring another to kill. If I had a problem with such a thing, I wouldn't be very effective at my job. Yeah. Well, a change in occupation might be good for you. However, I will say this: even though I am the one that does the deed, my clients are always the real guilty party. That goes without saying, Mr. the Killer. And their fate is to live with the knowledge of their guilt on their shoulders. However, my client this time thought they could run away from their guilt. The client did it to frame another for the crime. Are you talking about the button and the knife? Yes, and my business card. Oh, this card. So that no one has to waste their time, including the police, always making it a point to make things as easy as possible. You try to make things easy? My business card makes it very easy to identify who carried out the service. He's pretty devoted to his work. But to disregard everything, to go and stab the deceased with a knife, and even hide my card from sight, that is something I cannot overlook. It's really hard to tell if he's being truthful or not without him being here. While pretending to be the first person to discover the body and see. So you're saying most clients wouldn't do such a thing? That is correct. Usually most people try to create an alibi for themselves. If you should use my service, Mr. Attorney, I would suggest you plan your alibi too. No, I already told you, I have no intention of using your service, ever. Why does he keep looking at me? I'm not the one on trial here. Alien Anders knew from the very beginning that Juan Corda was dead. From the very beginning? That is correct. From before my client visited the room, all my clients know precisely what the situation is at all times. I wonder if that's really true. That's odd. Huh? From the very beginning, yeah, it's correct. All my clients know precisely what the situation is at all times. I wonder if that's really true. That's odd. Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning. Thank you so much for your talk, for taking the time to testify, Mr. DeKillo. What is the meaning of that attitude? When Adrian Andrews entered the victim's room, your client had no idea that Juan Cordo had been murdered. But how? How do you know that? From this wine glass, Your Honor. The glass? Mr. DeKillo's supposed clients thought Mr. Cordo had only fainted, which is why the glass of tomato juice was poured for the victim. But isn't that just part of Adrian Andrews' calculated plan? That is not possible, Your Honor. This glass bears the fingerprints of that person. Had this been planned, they would never have left their fingerprints behind. I see your point. Miss Edgeworth, what is your opinion? Strangely enough, I had the same exact thought just now. Witness, how do you explain this strange phenomenon? Is it a waste of time to ask for such minor details? It's not a very important point anyway, correct? I'm afraid you are mistaken. If Adrian Anders really is your client as you claim, then your client should have the knowledge of Mr. Corda's death. If not, then that can only mean that Adrian Anders was never your client at all. How strange. Why is it that the attorney has yet to raise an objection at this absurd situation? Phoenix, if the killer figures out what we're up to, we're in real trouble. Yeah, I know. Miss Edgeworth, I'm surprised. You know you can't say things like that without any evidence. Sorry. Well, that was an awful weak objection for the two of you. Anyway, I'm positive there was a contradiction in the testimony. The prosecution requested further testimony concerning when the request was taken. Well, that now I had to buy us more time. While we wait for the item the killer left behind to get here. Just know that the very outcome of the trial lies with those items. This request came to me about a week ago. It was a request for my service on the night of the night of the award ceremony. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. That is what occurred. I trust my memory and I believe I have made no mistake. So you physically met your client, huh? That is correct. Meeting one's client is the first step to building trust, in my opinion. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Request taking. "1 week ago, are you sure?" Yes, I am quite sure. I of course had my own preparation, and I was barely able to finish. Then you request my service, Mr. Attorney. I hope you will keep that in mind. Please, stop. In any case, my client this time had very specific date and time in mind. A specific date and time. It was a request for my services on the night of the award ceremony. Did you ask why on that specific night? No. I tried to fulfill all the conditions of my client's request, but as for why, I only had my your suspicions. So what are the suspicions you had? Why did your client request that night? I'm sure it was all for the beer. The beer? My client spoke of it. I'm sure there will be a beer-shaped figurine in Juan Corda's room. I would like you to retrieve that item for me. He must be talking about the beer puzzle. Inside that figure was a suicide note. Naturally, the victim brought it with him to his hotel room. He was planning to publicly disclose its content at the press conference after all. That is correct. And if I had not done the job that night, I would not have known where the bear figurine was. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now any important? The testimony just now was made one thing clear, and that is the client knew the secret of the bear figurine. Why is everything so quiet? Mr. Wright, I think all of us already knew that. Oh, really? Witness, please continue with your testimony. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. So you physically met Adrian Andrews, right? Of course I did. What was that? What was with a brief pause? Witness, I would like you to give us a few more details. I always meet my client as a matter of principle. I have never taken a request by telephone or mail. And why is that? That's because I value the trust between a client and myself above all else. And the only way to establish that is to speak to the client while looking them in the eyes. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any important? Of course it was very important, Your Honor. If Mr. the killer had met this client before the murder, then it's unlikely he's mistaken. So you're saying that this client was Adrian Andrews? I guess so. You see, it's just as I said. I'm so lost. Who the heck am I supposed to be helping here? Calm down, Phoenix. Think carefully and relax. Then would the witness please continue? That is what occurred. So your client was Adrian Andrews. That is correct. Well, he says the two of them met. Well, if they did, then there shouldn't be anything wrong with the killer's testimony. Well, there doesn't seem to be anything strange this time around. We had to draw more information from him, but you can't draw his suspicion. If you can do that, you should be able to find a flaw in his testimony somewhere. Talk about delicate balance. So physically, right? Of course I did. What was that? Why he meets his client is not important, and that wasn't the point. Witness, please stop sidestepping my question. What do you mean by that? My question was, did you really meet Anduin Adus in person? I have already told you, Mr. Wright, I did. It was only through talking with him face to face, I began to trust him. That's when I thought I can trust this person as a client. It's true what they say about talking face to face. Well, Mr. Wright, it's very important. If I heard what I think I heard just now, then I think I got him. Your Honor, I believe the testimony just now was of utmost importance. Really? If that's the case, witness, please include the testimony too. Very well. I can trust this person. But as we now know, that was not how it turned out, correct? What do you mean? Adrian Andu turned out to be a client who couldn't stick to the rules, right? Well, yes. I suppose you are correct. So I would like to check on the last time. Are you sure your testimony is accurate? That is what occurred. The moment I saw him. I would like to go over this one more time. You met Adrian Andrews at the bar and took the request at that time. Yes, that is correct. And that's when you thought he was trustworthy. How many times must I repeat myself? Yes, that is correct. I'm sorry, but that is an impossible tale. What? Shelley the Killer. You have never met the real Edwin Adus. Why would you say that? Because you made one very big slip up. About her. So what is the issue? What did you say just now? About her. If you had ever met Adrian Andrews in person, one look would have told you she is a woman. Oh. Order in the court, Mr. Wright. What is the meaning of this? The witness testified to the following: that he always meets face to face with his clients when taking the request, but he has never met Adrian Andrews in person. Yes, Your Honor, that is exactly the point. That means Mr. the Killer client could not have been Miss Adrian Andrews. Miss Edgeworth, I understand your logic on this one. However, why would the assassin make such a basic mistake? I believe it has to do with her name, Your Honor. Her name? Adrian Andrews is without a doubt a very androgynous name. Yes, I see. Unluckily for Mr. the Killer, the entire time he was on the stand, no one had stated Adrian Andrews' gender. And so he simply picked the wrong gender to go with. What is going on? Shelley the Killer? The court demands an explanation. I think somehow I must have mixed up the clients with another. So does that mean you remember something different now? Yes, of course. Please, if you will, allow me to testify once more. I know he's just going to spit out more lies. Very well, but this time please give us the truth and nothing but the truth. Request taking part 2. Yes, now I remember. I took that request by mail. There have been times when I took a job without having met my clients. The request was for the murder of Juan Coda and 2 or 3 other small things. When I saw the name and the end of the letter, I thought my client to be a man. So he took this job for a letter. He didn't mention anything about the letter in which means he is definitely lying. Be careful, Phoenix. If you break the assassin testimony completely, it's over for us. I know I can't make him suspicious, but I think we're okay, like we can do this. As long as he's standing there across from me. No matter how strong of punch I throw, he'll counter it. Now then, let's bring the cross-examination. Yes, now I remember I took that request by mail. But didn't you say that you always meet your clients? Yes, I suppose I did say that. However, there are some clients for whom a meeting is simply impossible. It's simply not possible. But didn't you meet your client this time? No, I did not. Oh, come now. Let's stop with the game of cat and mouse. Using your silkiest voice is not going to work on me. Alright then, just cough it up and confess. Mr. Wright, you can't badger a witness with such harsh words. You're a lawyer, so behave like one and present evidence instead of mindlessly yelling. Now then, do you have any proof that Mr. The Killer met with his client? Now then, do you have proof that Mr. The Killer met with his client? I don't think I have proof. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I don't have any proof. So then your line of case is just another waste of time. Sadly for us, Your Honor, that is the nature of right and wrong. There have been times when taking a job without having met my client. The request was for the murder of one corridor and 2 or 3 other small things. 2 or 3 other small things. Yes, and what were these other things? A few other things that had nothing to do with this case. What should I do? Should I let him slide that with that? It will be bad if I push his wrong button the wrong way. Whether or not they're related is the case. To this case is the court decision. Mr. Attorney? Yes, everything I have said was from the beginning has been nothing but beneficial to your client, which is why I wonder what is pushing you to continue this cross-examination. Could it be that you're planning to portray your own client? I smell the stench of backstabber, and should you turn out to be one? Wait. Oh, this is looking real bad. I shouldn't press my luck. Alright, I have things. The killer sounds like one sharp man. I should try to find a better way to do this without making him suspicious. Let's continue with the witness, if you please. So you're saying that you never saw your client's face, not even once? I did, once. It was when I went to give my client the figurine. Yes, I see. But Miss Andrews was wearing a mask at the time. A mask? The Naked Samurai mask, I'm guessing. Is it right? What do you think to say about this? Do you have any problem with this piece of the song? I think I can pull something out of what he said. But it would be real bad if I did something and made him mad over something trivial. There's no problem with this testimony, Your Honor. We pretty much reached the end of our rope here. Seems like we're still okay to me. And that is exactly what is so bad. At the rate we're going, will end up completely destroying the killer's lie. If we do that, you already know how serious of a situation that will put us in. Oh yeah, all I can do now is pray those items reach us in time. Now I remember to classify mail. They have been which is why I wonder what is pushing you to continue cross-examination me. Could it be that you are the plan to betray your own client? That's... I smell the stench of backstabber. And should you turn out to be one... Wait, oh no, this is looking real bad. Should I? Press further. Witness, this is very bad. This is a very important matter. Please cooperate and tell us what these other jobs your client requests as well. If it's truly that important, I suppose I don't have much of a choice. A bear figurine? The bear figurine. After the assassination of the target, was to find that figurine. I was told that this job was just as important as the actual killing. And where was the figurine? It was inside Mr. Corda's suitcase. And then what did you do next? I handed it over to my client right away. You gave it to your client. Interesting. This information sounds important to me. Witness, please include that to your testimony as you wish. I found this figurine at Mr. Engel's mansion. If you gave it to Miss Andrews, then what was it doing there? I was waiting for her there. That was also the part of the plan to frame Mr. Engel, I'm sure. That makes a lot of sense. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any problem with this piece of testimony? So the killer says he gave the figurine to Miss Andrews, but I know somewhere in the statement there is a contradiction. And yet, I know that if I present something trivial here, he will cut the connection on his end. If you want to make a strong point, Phoenix, we have to present strong evidence. She's right. Witness, let's go over that one more time. You gave Miss Andrews the bear figurine, and she told us you to make the bear and to take the. She told you to take the bear and wait for her at Engel's mansion. Is that correct? Yes. Where are you going with this? Well, I think maybe you might have to remember a few things incorrectly. What? This is a battle of wits. I can't let up on him. I don't think it is possible for Miss Andrews to have been the recipient of this bear. Shelley the killer. If she had really given the bear to Miss Andrews, then this should not have been inside it. This item. It seems... I see where you're going. Yep, that's where I'm going. Where is everyone going? Do I need to pack a suitcase? Your Honor, please think back to Miss Andrews' testimony. And I was going to burn it for her sake. If even for a single minute, this bear had actually been Miss Andrews' hands, I'm sure she would have taken the suicide note out and burned it. Order. So that's where you two are going. So by the very fact that this suicide note was still inside the bear, it tells your that your client didn't know how to disassemble the puzzle. Which means, Your Honor, that it's impossible for Aiden Andrews to be the client. Oh. Order. Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'm sure I mentioned this before. How I hate traitors above all else. I think your cross-examination has clearly demonstrated something to me. You must wish to break the end of our agreement. No, that's enough. If that's your intention, then there's only one thing for me to do. Wait, please. Gentlemen, ladies, please excuse me. I have a matter that I must attend to. No, please. Not that, please wait. Mr. Attorney, bring this trial to a speedy end, and I may stay in my hand. What in the end? Miss Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. I didn't understand this witness outburst just now. So do you think there is a need to hear more testimony, or is this enough? Well, we should. Edgeworth, we can't do this. If we keep this up, the prosecution what has come over everyone, even you are, the prosecution rests. What is going on around here? The prosecution has no further question, Your Honor. Well, I never thought I'd see the day. This is a most unusual situation. If the prosecution rests with no further question, then the prosecution has failed to uphold its stand. If that's the case, then even though I am reluctant, I must believe that Mr. the Killer's testimony is accurate. That will mean that Shelly the Killer's client is Andrew Andrews. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. If the end of the trial here really now, if I end the trial here right now, then your client Matt Engel would be declared innocent, and in his place, Andrew Andrews would be charged with the murder. Miss Andrews would be charged with murder. The prosecution has no further questions, so we'll now hear the defendant's final remark. Bailiff, please bring the defendant, Mr. Matt Engel, to the stand. The item the killer hideout didn't make it in time. We tried as hard as we could, but it looks like our time has run out. I can't believe it. The outcome will now lies in your hands.